Greetings, weary traveler. Come warm yourself by the fire and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, Tales of Tamriel. I am your host, Aggelos, and we are back for another episode 174 with my co-host, the one, the only, Arkhaniir Silvershield himself. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, ready to smack some Altmer heads in. So that's always good, you know.
Well, as you can see, I've joined the ranks of the Altmer because my glorious beard has been shaven.
Yeah. But if it's for a good cause, it's for a better beard.
It is.
If it's for a better beard, that's an acceptable shave.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing I did the last time with a little bit of a mixture of the growing oil and the Rogaine for the beard. And that worked actually really well the last time. Filled in, like over here there was a bald spot, and it started actually filling in a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing again. So every once in a while I just kind of shave. But, you know, just like that one episode of, or not the episode, the show, Robin Hood Men in Tights, I feel like I need a fake beard. Tried to talk my wife into buying me one of the little knit ones I seen. They were doing crochet beards that were like for hats and stuff. They were pretty awesome. I wanted one. She wouldn't get it for me. It sucked. Anyway, we've got a fun show planned for you today. This week, we have a little bit of news, not a whole lot, a couple things, two of which are fairly important, and then going into the spoiler episode for Summerset. Like we were talking about on our last episode, we ran out of time. We're literally just going to jump right into that, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll be talking about all the stuff from Summerset. So if you have not completed Summerset yet, I recommend just turning this podcast off, saving it, until you finish, and then go back and listen to it afterwards because, hey, it's us, so you should do it anyway. Anyway, before we get going, we got to give a special shout-out to our patron subs. We have a new one, Fallen99 and Scribble MMO for our new patrons over at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork. Thank you so much for that. And, of course, I do want to say something else for Scribble. Scribble's been a part of our community for quite a while now, actually. And he does a couple interesting things. One of them, they're working on an EQ2 revival type emulator project. Or, no, what was it? It was EQ1 in the EQ2 engine. That's what it was. I don't remember all of that yet, so I think it's EQemulator.com, but I might be wrong. That's really cool, but he also does another show called Pantheon Radio, and it's a podcast for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, another indie MMO that we don't really cover on DCN, but you know we do have quite a few people who actually backed it and whatnot, so that's really cool. And of course, our newest Twitch sub, Samuel Sun. Thank you so much for that. It's amazing. Thank you. I need a drink, so that's what I'm doing right now. This show brought to you by Mountain Dew Kickstart. Just kidding, but I do drink a lot of them. They should sponsor us. Just due to the sheer number of them that I drink. And also, we had a new 5-star iTunes review from Eternal Pantheon. Amazing show. Keep it up. That's awesome. I know, short and sweet, but definitely to the point. Yeah. Make sure if you are interested in supporting the show and you can't afford to do so monetarily, you can do so by leaving us a 5-star iTunes review or subscribing to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork. And, of course, following us right here on twitch.tv/dungeoncrawlernetwork as well. That's awesome. All right, Ark. Let's go ahead and jump right on into the news. There wasn't a whole lot.
Right. There isn't, yeah. Friday, there was the ESO Live. They were talking about combat and gameplay changes in with the Wolf Hunter DLC, which I didn't watch because I no longer watch ESO Live. It just, the time-wise, it doesn't fit for me. But if you're interested, you can always go back and watch it on Bethesda Twitch, or probably Bethesda YouTube as well. I guess they upload them to YouTube too.
I think
although that I am not entirely sure of. But yeah, I would assume they do. So you can go ahead and watch it back. Now the main part of the news is, let me bring up the notes. the Midyear Mayhem PvP event returns for this year on July 26th, Thursday. So that's 2 days from now, or rather 4 days from now. Yeah, right, Thursday.
Yeah,
so 4 days
Thursday.
from now. It involves double experience point, double Telvars, lots of rewards. Do you want me to go through these, or just
just the highlights
link in
more
the
than enough?
description
We've done it before. It's a PvP event that I know I'm a big fan of. It pretty much makes Imperial City hopping. Like, there's tons of people.
Yeah.
And also some of the rewards. One thing I will mention that is big for anybody: if you are a style collector, the reward boxes you get have chances of dropping the Akaviri motif, and as we know, those are not cheap. The smallest ones are 100,000 AP, with the biggest ones being 500,000, so per page. So if you don't PvP a lot, this may be a really good chance for you to actually get that set if you don't want to spend all the money to get it.
Yep. So basically, you'll be getting double alliance points in Alliance War, Imperial City, and Battlegrounds, as well as more experience gains for PvP player kills. And yeah, that's pretty much it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, there are, of course, a lot of achievements and whatnot as well.
If you do get the achievements, you do get the title Star Maid Knight. And just as a little bit of a reference, this entire event is actually in relation from a lore-wise to Pelennel Whitestrike, the commander of Alessia's armies. Yeah, that's why it's the Star Maid Knight.
I didn't know that.
It's a festival surrounding him. So, yeah.
So one thing I'm not seeing here is that, do we get double Talvar stones as well?
Yes.
I
think
mean,
that's
I
part
don't
of it.
see it. The only mention of Talvar stones is that you get Talvar stones from the boxes that you get as rewards, the boon boxes.
I'm almost positive you get them double.
I feel the same as well. So if you do get them, this is a good chance to stock up on Talvar stones to get those storage containers for your house.
And
because they are 100k to 200k, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that's
Talvar
correct.
stones, and this event is a good way to save up on Talvars to get yourself a container.
It's actually also a good way that if you're after those motif not the motif, the polymorphs, getting those as well, because they're a 250,000 Telvar stones per, and there's 3 of them. So
yeah,
something to check into.
So basically, overall, a good idea to just save up on anything PvP related stuff and get them.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, I think you missed the most important event that's coming out on Monday.
Monday? What?
It's my birthday, Ark.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. But it is my birthday on Monday, so I'm excited for that. Oh, and I do have to give
Are you going to be at home with your family, or because I remember one time they weren't at home?
No, they are at home for my birthday.
They are?
Yes.
Okay.
So yes.
So no in-game party.
Yeah, no in-game party. Yeah, because I will be out and about. Probably. Oh, I mean, I'll probably be online in the evening, but yeah. No, and I gotta give a shout out to I received my first Crown Store gift. Yeah. I actually just put new brakes on my car, so I really wanted the House of Reveries mask because I think they're really cool. In fact, if you're looking at the stream right now, I have one on. See, I think it looks really neat on my character because it kind of gives me this kind of like, I don't know, a grim dark Templar. Like, I have the mask going for judgment, so you can't see who I am. I love it. I wanted it. I wasn't gonna buy it because I have a few crowns left, but we have a guild giveaway to do at the end of the month for people who show up to events and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna miss it, you know. But Breland bought it for me. So she sent it to me because she asked, like, did you get it? Because I noticed you wanted it. I'm like, I told her, nah, I'm just going to skip it because I've spent enough money. And while it'd be cool, I'm sure it'll come around again. And she's like, nope. And she sent me a screenshot. She sent it to me. So now I got my first Crown Store gift. So thank you so much for that, Bree. I really do appreciate it. I don't even know if you listen to the show, but if you do, you're awesome. But yeah, it was cool.
Is she not from DCN?
She's in DCN, yes. Yeah. But specifically, she's part of the Ashes of Creation community.
Okay.
I kind of got her into ESO because, while you're waiting for that game to come out, she's like, I'm bored. I'm not playing anything. I'm like, you should join me in ESO. And I got her and her partner addicted to ESO. Like, seriously addicted. They play like 8 times more than I do. Like, they farmed out like 1,000 champion points already. Like, it's insane. Like, they're hardcore
I've been playing
addicted.
for 4 years, and I still don't have maximum champion points.
Oh yeah, no, they're moving along. They're fun to PvP with as well. So we're probably gonna do something together for the Midyear Mayhem event because I'm like, the 3 of us need to get together. We got to do battlegrounds. We'll pull in a 4th because we were doing them just the other night, like 2 weeks ago or something like that, and we were rolling people. It was fantastic. So we had a lot of fun working on that. So we're probably going to do something similar for the new event going forward. So
I'm gonna ask you to craft me some stuff on NA.
Yeah,
like replicate my Battlegrounds build. So I might be able to join you guys as well if the time is right.
Awesome. Yeah, no, just let me know what you need, and I'm gonna do that. I hear my little son coming downstairs. He sounds like he's making his way. I tried to get him today. I said he's actually speaking a lot more, like a lot more, and it's fantastic. I said, man, he almost speaks better than me. All I need to do is teach him 2 main phrases. 1, elves are bad. And 2, lockboxes are bad. If he could say either of those, he's a permanent host. Is my little man over there? Go away. Oh, he said, go away, Mom. I don't need you. Aw. He's so independent. Little man, are you coming over here to say hello? Yeah. Come on over. He's 3. Who cares? I'm sure Twitch isn't going to ban me for showing a shirtless kid who's like 3. Say hello. Here, I'm going to put put this in your ear. Yeah, we're on a show right now. Oh. We're having issues, aren't we? Issues. Can you say elves are bad? Oh. Hold on. Here, speak into the mic. Say elves are bad. No elves are bad? He did. I don't know. Did you hear him? He went, elves bad. Can you say elves are bad? Can you say lockboxes are bad?
Can you say I love Mom?
He doesn't want to.
Do you love Daddy?
Oh, he's watching the game.
Oh, he's watching the game. Yeah. All right. Oh, I got to move closer. All right. So this is my other little co-host. He's almost there. He's about ready to be a full-time co-host. He just has to learn those 2 phrases yet, and then he's pretty much set to go. What is he doing, Giggle? All right. Well, Unpazzed in chat goes, no, Daddy, elves are my best friend. No. We're putting a stop to that.
That would break Aggelos.
It would. I would literally break down in tears on stream. It would be awful. It would be absolutely awful. Can you say elves are bad? I say elves are bad all the time.
No.
Yeah, elves are bad.
No, Dad.
Yeah, they're bad. Bad elves. You're a good Ezra, though, aren't you? Yeah. All right. Well, we can go ahead and move right on into, I guess, the main thing, which is, are you leaving me now? Oh, okay. You're gonna go play with the tractor mower? Okay. Oh, go ahead. Mow the grass while you're at it. Yeah, go ahead. There he goes. He's like, go play tractor mower? Yeah, all right. All right, it's time to talk about the storyline for Summerset. So obviously, if you have not done this already, please skip this episode or save it till you're done and then come back and then we can have a little bit of a discussion. So, Ark. Overall, Summerset. Absolutely amazing, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Well, I really had very low expectations from Summerset's story because I was expecting it to be all about elves, just elves, all about high elves. The story proved me wrong.
I mean, there was the hero of the entire thing, that orc who just punches the elf in the face. That was... I would buy Summerset again just for that. Like, if that's the only quest they offered me in Summerset, it would have been worth it. Just to see the orc punch an elf right in the face. Oh, man. So, Razumdar, he was pretty much the main star to this. Like, you get the first quest, the Queen's Decree, which pretty much takes you into Summerset. I know when I first started, you talk to him, and you're supposed to head to Shimmerine, but why in creation would they park you at the Alinor docks when there's a Shimmerine dock? Like, I don't get why that would be.
You started at the Alinor docks.
Yeah, I did.
I think I started at Shimmerine, just right there.
Really?
If I remember correctly, I think I started at Shimmerine. How did you end up in Alinor docks?
I had no idea. I went to the boat, I talked to the boat person, and they took me, like, because literally, I'm pulling it up here on the stream, I started right here at the Alinor docks. This is where they parked me. They did not park me in Shimmerine.
I remember very specifically that I started at Shimmerine and started the quest with Razumdar right away. And, he has you talk with 3 different person and everything. I even remember mistaking that temple for the palace.
Really?
And apparently it was just a temple. So I'm pretty sure I started at Shimmerine. Maybe it's about where you hopped on the boat from.
Well, I did it from Mournhold.
Mournhold.
Yeah.
So from Deshaun.
Deshaun.
That's a very ugly way to go if you think about it.
Oh yeah, I think I talked about that before, where it's
I remember.
Yeah, they don't even put you on the dock that makes sense. They put you on the dock that's like guarded by 3 land bridges. I'm like, so I went 3 feet down the river, and then I had to get out of my boat and carry my boat to the next part of the stream, like twice. Like, I don't get exactly why that is, but yeah. Ooh, I got Divine's Hulking Draugr. I'm gonna lock those up. Nice.
So yeah, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I ended up in Alinor as well, but
well, see, I'm
fairly certain I started in Shimmerine. Where did you Where did you start?
Yeah, I'm actually.
When you first went to Summerset Isles, did you start at Shimmerine or did you start at Alinor? Right.
Now, I know as soon as we got that, we move on to the Pearl of Great Price quest. It kind of introduces with this one you talk to, what is his name? Ikesis, Right Master Ikesis, which is from the Sijic Order, because you are introduced to the Sijic Order lady earlier than that, and you find that the Abyssal Pearl, I think that's what you originally find. Do you remember that part? Like that.
Wait, which one?
The Abyssal Pearl. Like, this is something that kind of confuses me overall. Like, the Abyssal Pearl. Like, where in the world did that come from? Like, from a lore perspective, I know what they're using these pearls, and it summons these fish monsters essentially, but they don't really have a tie to the Daedric Prince. They have a tie to the Slodes, but I don't know. I don't know what they are.
I mean, the events in Summerset are pretty much tied between the Daedric Princes and the Slodes.
Yeah. Well, the Slodes
they are basically kind of trying to use each other.
Right. because we're introduced to the court of Bedlam, which is this trifecta, triumvirate of the three Daedric princes, Minfala, Nocturnal, and Clavicus Vile, of which you kind of knew some of it, because you're introduced to Clavicus Vile in Summerset, or not Summerset, in
Morrowind.
Clockwork City, actually.
Wait, was Clockwork or Morrowind?
Clockwork City. Because he's the one who breaks into that whole section, remember? And you have to chase him down.
I kind of remember Clavicus Vile getting mentioned in Morrowind as well, but I might be wrong. Morrowind is like way too ago, like over a year ago, so
right.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, because I know when you first get to Summerset, the very first quest after you talk to Razumdar, it's a lot of there's some weird stuff going on because people are going missing, right? Like that, because that's kind of what leads us into this whole section, is all these people are going missing, and that's when you find out about the court of Bedlam. Well, a little bit. You don't really find out about the court of Bedlam yet. You just kind of see traces of what's going on, and I'm looking over at my notes. And that's where you're also introduced to the Slode. You're seeing these people are being taken, being sacrificed. And I'm getting feedback as well. I can hear my voice again, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
There is nothing around that should give you your voice back.
Interesting.
Unless
we need a young priest and an old priest.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So that's B2.
Well, we're gonna check out our audio issues here, but so yeah, you're talking about Summerset. You're getting to see a little bit of the Slode, it was really neat in my eyes, because the Slode are something that we've heard about from the books. But you actually don't get to see Slode that often. And these are also sea Slodes. Apparently there are multiple different kinds of Slode. I don't know if that was lore from before or if it was retconned in later to say it's something different. Because I honestly don't think we've ever seen a Slode in the main series. I know you see like Slode soap in Morrowind, because that's something they use. But I don't actually.
I mean, honestly, until Summerset, I never even heard of a Slode. Like the Summerset Isles expansion is the first time I actually heard of Slodes.
Right. Again, if you followed the lore a lot or the different races, you knew they existed. And that's not necessarily true. You just don't remember. Remember when you're doing the Shadowfen quest and the Kathringi? Remember the Kathringi, the silver skin people? How they said they were pretty much wiped out by the Nahatan flu, which was thought to be brought by the Slode. They're mentioned. You don't see them, but they are mentioned.
I probably missed it because I don't know, like I didn't know what they were, and even if they mentioned it, I was probably like, Slodes, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it's one of those.
Also, do you still hear yourself?
I do. Yeah, I do.
That's strange because the way I see it, like, my microphone isn't picking up anything, so I don't know. But chat, do you hear Aggelos twice as well? I wonder if it's a feedback in like your own setup, maybe something like that.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, let us know if you can hear me or not. I mean, I might be able to edit some of that out in post because it's fairly faint, but we'll see how it goes.
I can always go back to like default how we did it. Actually, let me do that, see if that fixes anything, maybe.
Okay. I'm killing a boss here. I'm actually been farming this dungeon for weeks now, trying to get all the pieces of hulking Draugr that I need for my PvP set.
Oh, you're gonna use that.
Yeah. Now, see, now you got really quiet though, Ark.
How about now?
Still pretty quiet. It kind of sounds like your mic switched or something. I don't know.
That is strange. I don't know.
Okay, no, I think
But-
you're back to somewhat normal at that level.
Okay, can you still hear yourself though?
I cannot.
That is so strange.
We're gonna have to do some audio testing after this, try to get that working. Because I know you definitely had some nicer audio, but again, I can mess with the audio. Like you're clear here, but you're quieter. But I can go and post and do some like post game.
It's up to you. I can go back to what I was doing just
No,
before, or
that's
stay
fine.
like this.
That's fine. I'll catch it
Okay.
with my filters. It's easier to apply gain than it is to remove my
Echo.
voice. Yeah, the echo.
Yeah.
You can't even really remove it because if I remove it, then your voice is gone too because it's mixed in the waveform. But
Yep.
I can minimize it. This is just easier. So. Okay, so we find the missing people. I remember specifically going into a cave, and when you go into the cave is when you actually see a Slode for the first time. I was so
Yep.
freaking excited when I saw the Slode. Because, again, those are something that I had seen a long time ago. And, yeah, just it's so long ago I've heard of the Slode. It's just we've never actually done anything with the Slode. And to see one and the vision they used for it was pretty darn amazing, actually. So after we do that, we of course find the Slode. We find the Abyssal Pearl, not knowing what in creation it is, and we take it to the Psijic Order. We talked about the Psijic Order a little bit last time, right? Like,
Yeah.
from the questline perspective, their quest probably would have been good if it was one quest, not 10 hidden between the finding the 90 things. It just felt very broke up, very fragmented. Whereas in the story itself actually was really good. It just, when you drag it over so many different levels, it was kind of like, all right, we're done now, right? Like, that's it. Anyway, you go to talk to the Right Master, the leader of the Psijic Order. What did you feel about the Psijic Order in this? Like, I'm torn in that we were able to join the Psijic Order because I always felt like the Psijic Order was one of these super, like just way beyond us. Even in Skyrim, when we meet some guy who's part of the Psijic Order, he's like, yeah, no. We're going to take this from you. Go ahead.
They arrived by stopping the time. Like, that's the first appearance they made. They stopped time, and they're like, hey, yeah, I just stopped time, no big deal. I'm going to take this thing off you. Because it's a massive relic, we have to have it, the Psijic Order. We are the protectors of everything arcane, everything like that.
Yep.
Then in Elder Scrolls Online, they're like, you see all the random people in there, like Red Guards, Imperials, Bretons, whatever. And everyone you talk, they're like, yeah, pretty much anyone can join Psijic Order if they are competent. I mean, I understand that if someone is competent, they can join Psijic Order, but they make it sound like, yeah, we just randomly gather people from Tamriel.
Yeah.
That's not...
Yeah.
You are Psijic Order. You disappeared for hundreds of years. I was expecting a bit more mysterious vibe from them. Instead, it was like Mages Guild that are just a little bit more arrogant.
Yep. I agree. I really did feel like that was a misstep. I know they wanted to present a new skill line, but from a lore perspective, it really did feel like it cheapened the experience where in Skyrim, come on, I was the Dragonborn, right? And the Psijic Order didn't even let me join them. They're like, yeah, no, you can't have this. We're taking this from you. Don't even think about, ever grab it. So they didn't trust us at all, right? But in this one, they're like, yeah, no, you're our buddy. You're like my best friend. So, yeah.
I mean, for my character doesn't understand the single magic, for example, lore-wise.
Sure.
I don't use any magical skill. And I'm just running around with Psijic Order, doing magical stuff as well, like opening portals, like tuning magical crystal. How am I doing those? That's one. I mean, that's a general problem I have with Elder Scrolls Online quest. All characters understand magic to full
Right.
capacity for whatever reason. Like we do Mage's Guild questline, and suddenly you are able to open portals, tune different crystals together. So I don't know what. I mean, I don't know any magic. How am I doing those? So I felt that problem with Sijic Order as well, but just more massively because it's Sijic Order.
Right.
It shouldn't be this easy to access.
Right.
What I preferred would be if they just instanced the entire Artaeum.
Oh, so
Like,
you didn't
no,
see
we
people
don't-
running around in it?
Yeah, just us and NPCs. That's it. No other players. Full instanced island.
It's small
That
enough.
would
I
be the
would have preferred that
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
Because right now, like even if now I teleport to Artaeum, there will be people dueling, running around on horses, dancing naked, which I'm fine with. But like, how is that in Sijic Order?
No, I agree. I really agree. I really feel like they cheapened what the Sijic Order was in lore to allow us to have a new skill line. I mean, yeah, and this is coming from a lore fiend. I think they did it well. Like, not saying anything from the coding perspective or anything of that nature. It's all specifically related to the fact that it feels very lore breaking that so many people are able to be Sijic. Like, from a power perspective, my guy isn't, like, he's not the Dragonborn, you know? Like, he doesn't have this level of power. My guy is a guy who got his soul stolen, you know? Like, so in reality, he's probably even weaker. So why now am I joining the Sijic Order when my guy in Skyrim wasn't even allowed?
That kind of depends on from which perspective like, for example, if you're in role playing in Elder Scrolls Online, 99.9% of the time you ignore the entire main story. That never happened to your character. Like, you are not the vestige if you are role playing, obviously, because that means you would be OP. Yeah, I mean that doesn't make sense, and there would be a lot of vestiges. So in role playing, you just simply ignore the fact that, like, all those plane mold events and everything like that, they happened to some guy in Tamriel. Like, there's a vestige, but that's not you.
It's somebody else
Now,
entirely.
if you look at it that way, then yeah, I mean, how did we end up in Sijic Order, especially with a character that doesn't understand magic? But if you think about it as a single player experience, then you are the vestige who used the power of Amulet of Kings to basically smack Molag Bal in the face.
Right. Right.
So when you look at it that way, it kind of makes sense that, okay, I mean, you could be powerful enough to be in Sijic Order because you basically beat a Daedric prince. But that would only work for me, again, if the island was instanced. So that only I would be there. Now there's like 5,000 people there.
Right.
They all can't be vestiges. So who are they and how they ended up in Artaeum, this magically disappeared island?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. I don't know how in creation that they are the way that they are, to be honest. So yeah, that was a little bit of a contentious area for me, just because I'm sitting there going, this doesn't make any sense in terms of why the Sijic Order's here, why at all I should care about this, and why they should even let me in. So that was a little bit of an issue. So we're going to move on from and that they also introduced the idea of the abyssal pearls, which I talked about before. They're neat in concept. I just don't know where they fit in lore. Like, I didn't know that the Slode had this power. I know they kind of used it to co-op the new abyssal geysers, which are essentially just dark anchors, which are cool. I enjoyed dark anchors. I wish they would have came back because I thought they were a very neat thing, but I got it from lore. You can't just have them everywhere, right? Because technically this doesn't exist anywhere else. That time period is already gone by the time Summerset happens. Like, I know you can do anything in any order, but they specifically designed the game around a very specific layout, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you're playing the game, there's a chronological order to things. Characters specifically don't even show up in certain areas, or they'll show up and have no reason to be there, but they'll talk to you like you know them before. Like a good example of this, Darian Gutierrez, which I am going to spoil a little bit now. He's the Golden Knight. You actually do see him, right? He was a main part of the story for the Daggerfall Covenant in the main section. I shouldn't say he was a supporting actor. So he supported.
Yeah, he was the main guy.
Oh yeah, he was pretty awesome. I'm not going to say that, but in reality, he was a supporting actor, kind of like all the smaller people that you found, like in the first island, that kind of follow you around. He's one of those. He does kind of follow you around, and then he plays a kind of dramatic role in the final quest arc of the Vestige storyline, the Cold Harbor storyline, and then kind of disappears. And there's even hints of his location throughout Rothgar, I think it was. He gets some hints there, Morrowind as well. And we all know our favorite Dunmer assassin from the Morag Tong.
Oh yeah, Vea.
Not Vea. Not Vea.
No.
I was talking to the one who shows up before, but Vea specifically we'll get to.
Which
Naryu. I'm talking about how if you don't do them in chronological order,
okay,
Naryu appears not in Summerset, but she appears in Morrowind.
Yeah.
And then she appears in Deshaun. If you've done the Deshaun storyline, she appears in Dark Brotherhood. Like, there's a few areas where she
I still
exists.
haven't completed Dark Brotherhood. I really should do that.
Yeah, you really should. Dark Brotherhood is one of the better stories in the entire
Yeah.
game. I'm not gonna lie, it's really, really good. We're also. I hear my son's not very happy. I hear him.
He's practicing his tomb again.
Yeah, he is practicing. What's wrong, buddy? What's wrong? What? Well, you got to listen to your mama. Everyone who gets to watch gets to see this as well. You got to listen to your mama. What does she want you to do? Go upstairs? Oh, well, you want to go outside? Go put some clothes on. I know you're a big, strong Nord, but you need some clothes on. Go get some clothes on, okay? Oh, don't cry. See, now he's a little upset. He doesn't like he's so much of a Nord that he does not like to have clothes on because it's too hot out there. So, yeah, that's okay. You don't like clothes? All right, you can stay here for a minute. Moving on, I know we're introduced to the Isle of Artaeum with buried memories because once you get the pearl, you're set to Artaeum, and then of course you're dealing with the Bedlam Court and everything of that nature. You're introduced to the Tower or the College of Sapiarchs and the Crystal Tower, which I thought was really cool to see the Crystal Tower. Yeah. Mom, play. His mom is sitting over there looking at him because she's not real happy with him at the moment. Court of Bedlam. What did you feel about the Court of Bedlam?
I don't know. Like, first of all, I wasn't expecting Weya there. That was my biggest surprise about Court of Bedlam.
Yes,
because I know that. Okay, so at the end of Morrowind, I guess we can spoil Morrowind.
Yep.
Now.
Yeah.
So at the end of Morrowind, you are given two options. Naryu asks you, like, should I kill Weya or should I just let her go? And I picked the option to let her go. Like, let her go, whatever. I mean, don't have her blood on your hands. See, that's what I'm very curious about.
I said kill her, and she actually stabs her.
There we go. So if you let her go, Weya goes off to Summerset to start a new life, which I really wasn't expecting to be in service of a Daedric prince, but whatever, she was already troubled. she is like not a normal person. She's quite mentally unstable. So I guess it's normal that she ended up in service of some Daedric prince. But what happens if you kill her in Morrowind?
Doesn't matter.
How does she show up in Court of Bedlam in Summerset?
Apparently, the story goes that it like, because I stab her, she's laying on the ground, but apparently she's not dead yet, right? But she looks dead, and you're allowed to make the choice. But when you say you're gonna kill her, I thought I stabbed him, but apparently I didn't. She said, "I'll take care of it," and she leaves the room. And then she's all mad at you. Remember I said how Nari was all mad at you and didn't want to talk to you anymore and things of that nature because I chose to kill her? It's interesting, to say the least, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I started finding notes from Vea when I was exploring the island. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. This is amazing, seeing these different notes and whatnot. Yeah, you can find like 4 or 5 different notes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna try to change my audio again, just real quick, to see if I was able to fix the echo issue. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I see College Kid in chat says, if you save Vea, Naru sends her to Summerset in a scene at the Vivek City docks after the quest completion. Okay, because I'll tell you, if you don't, you go visit her in the one pub or whatever, or the Morigtong safe house, and she is just pissed. She's drinking herself to high heaven, doesn't really want to talk to you. Yeah, she's quite angry.
Can you hear me, by the way, at the moment?
I can hear you, yes. But I also hear myself. So.
Okay, I guess not. I guess that doesn't work. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try one more thing. What about now? Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you still. But I can hear myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is this? Okay, I'm just going to go back.
I have no idea, but I do hear myself. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah, we can try to.
We'll have to figure it out as we go. I don't know why it is the way that
I'm using a virtual mixer called Voice Meter Banana, and there's like a bunch of virtual cables and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It allows me to do post-processing and increase the quality of my audio, do a lot of like, clearing and everything like that. Sometimes the voices loop on, but I have no idea how it affects you to hear yourself when my microphone isn't getting any feedback from at least what I can see in the software. So I don't know. We can figure it out.
I know. We're going to have to play with that one, try to figure it out. I have no idea, but yeah. My son just turned on my Xbox controller for my computer because I use it for Dark Souls. So I heard it go doot 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 doot. So if anyone hears that on the podcast, that's what it was. So yeah, we are introduced to essentially two. No, that's right. We kill the. I can't remember what title it is, but essentially the leader of the Clavicus Vile faction of the Court of Bedlam. What are they called?
The one in what was the city? Hold on. There's like a town that is sinking, right?
Yes.
With a huge sinkhole. What was the name of that town?
That's Corrid Waste. I don't know if that's where we kill the guy or not, but
Relentil.
Relentil isn't where we're. What?
No,
yeah.
It was Relentil. Wasn't he the son of like the governor of Relentil?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Relentil, and we actually I didn't place Aldmeri Dominion.
My son's like, get in the water because he's watching me play and he wants me to run through the water. So that's what we're doing right now.
Well, you better run through the water.
I'm running through the water. Yeah. Are you happy? Yeah. You're happy?
So
that's good. But yeah, you get rid of him because he was whatever. But then you're also introduced to 2 other characters, which I thought was neat. Specifically because one of them, I don't know. What is their title? Archcan? No, Archcan.
Duke.
No. Is it Duke? We're gonna call him Dukes for now. The Duke of the
Something like that.
Is it
yeah.
Minfala or Nocturnal?
The Sijik Order one was Mephala. The husband of that Sijik Order woman, that's Mephala.
Okay.
Veya is Nocturnal. And then the son of Governor of Relentil was Clavicus Vile.
Gotcha.
And actually, before we move on to other ones, like the son of Governor of Relentil wasn't really an important. He got wasted pretty quickly in the storyline.
Right.
But that exact storyline made me respect Razumdar so much because I had never done Aldmeri Dominion questline, so I don't know about anything about Razumdar except that you really love him.
Oh,
But I never
do love
saw the
Razumdar.
reason why.
Because he's awesome.
Yeah, apparently he is awesome because. So we figure out the son of Governor of Relentil, basically the noble person, is actually working for Clavicus Vile in the court of Bedlam, right?
Right.
And he's actually under Relentil in a sinkhole, like in a cave. They are working with these slodes, and it will cause the entire Relentil to sink and basically get destroyed. So we figure this out, and we confront both the governor and his son in the same room, and Razumdar is there as well. And normally in situations like this, we are given an option, and the main NPC character asks us, like, should I kill him or should I bring him to justice? Like, what should I do? We are usually given this option to pick. And I'm waiting for this option, right? I'm waiting for Razumdar to ask me, like, what should I do? He doesn't. He takes the swords out, and he just stabs the dude right there. And I'm like, okay, this is odd. And then Razumdar just goes, like, the, treason to the queen is basically just not acceptable. So there is not even a question whether if you should bring the guy to justice or not. Razumdar just straight up stabs the guy.
Right.
And I'm like, I like this cat.
He is
I
cool.
like this guy. He's good, yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't care about being loyal to the queen, but being loyal to your mission and just going, okay, treason is not acceptable, that's honorable, and the guy deserved it. And I loved that there was no choice this time, and Razumdar just took initiative and stabbed the guy and finished it all. I loved that moment. I've been waiting to talk about this since we decided we will talk about the Summerset story.
Right. Are you having fun down there? I'm trying to find out where we were in the. Oh, there we go. My son actually turned on my Xbox controller, which I didn't think was a big deal, except it was a big deal because then I lost control of the character on the stream, so I had to log out and back in because for whatever reason it took over. I don't know why. Anyway, not a big deal. We're here. So we do get to meet those two characters. Veya is is it Nocturnal? Yeah, Nocturnal.
Veya is Nocturnal, yeah.
So she kind of went the opposite way since when she was part of the Morag Tong, they're more of a Minfala cult, essentially.
Yeah.
That's like their originating patron or whatever. Oh, you're moving over there now? Hey, go with your mama. You're going to go get clothes and go outside. Go ahead. Go get some clothes and go outside. You're going to sit right there? Really? Okay. You still there, Ark?
Yep.
Okay.
I was listening to your conversation with your
Oh,
son.
yep. Nope. He's just
waiting for it.
He's just sitting down there like, I'm just going to sit on my little chair right next to you. Give me a smile. All right. Good thing you're cute, son. What are you doing? Anyway, so the Court of Bedlam, they're stealing essentially the heart of transparent law, which is the governing crystal from the crystal tower itself, is what gives it all of its power in the first place. I will say, the model for Nocturnal we've seen already. Clavicus Vile was interesting, but nothing really beats Minfala's model. Did you see that?
Yep.
It was so good.
Yeah. I mean, Clavicus Vile is an ugly little Daedric prince. There isn't much to him. Nocturnal is also pretty humanoid, so like it's nothing to be really impressed at. But Mephala, in the game, and she comes on like her avatar is all glowing red and everything like that with spider. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. It's really cool to see. That was actually, I think I took a bunch of screenshots of that just because I was so impressed with the actual model of Minfala. But so they go to try to steal the Heart of Transparent Law. And again, this revolves a lot around the idea of the Psijic Order. The Right Master Ikesis apparently hid it, but couldn't remember. So that, we have that whole amnesia level. And I'm hearing my son cries. We're going upstairs, and I'm losing track on exactly what I'm thinking of.
I mean, are you talking about when we enter the Slot's mind?
Yes.
That part was that world building. Oh, it was beautiful. It was out of Tamriel, that's for sure. And the fact that they use a theme around basically neural mapping, you could actually see in the sky a bunch of neuron collections firing up, the electrical arrays and everything that, neurons firing, and it actually gave that we are in someone's mind idea in a fantasy way, high fantasy way, very good, and I loved that part. I got a bunch of screenshots. I didn't take much of screenshots from Mephala, but I took a lot of screenshots from that area in Slot's mind.
Right.
Also, I love that twist there as well. As you said, Right Master not being able to remember where he hid it, him thinking that he killed the Slot, but actually just got his memories altered by the Slot into thinking that he beat him and everything like that, a bunch of stuff. And then even while being affected by the spell, he manages to hide his own thoughts and hides the heart. What was the name?
Heart of Transparent Law.
Yeah, it was a beautiful storyline, that's for sure. That whole amnesia and Right Master versus Slot part, I love that section.
Yeah. And of course, right around this time when we go to the Tower of the Sapiarchs, as we're making our way around, obviously we need to get to the Crystal Tower, but in order to do so, you need 2 members from the College of Sapiarchs. Only 2 of them are entrusted to actually open the Crystal Tower. And it's neat because essentially what happens is while you're there, Minfala is around, right? She's kind of showing her webs, and she's a spider person, so that makes sense. But this is the first time you get to see the Golden Knight, who he starts showing up. And he's being chased, obviously, by Minfalia, and you have to try to protect him. But he kind of is always running away. Whenever she tries to block your path, he shows up with Dawnbreaker and bursts the webs down, which is pretty neat. And I know when I first saw the Golden Knight and heard the voice, I'm like, oh, I knew who that was right away. Because they were teasing it for so long. But I knew it was Darian. And then, of course, you actually get to rescue Darian because he does get captured by Minfala and brought into her realm, her Daedric realm of... what is the name of her Daedric realm now? Sken something or another? Essentially, it's a giant spider area. If you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, it really does look like the Underdark in the Forgotten Realms series. So it's neat in that level. It was really cool. You had to actually save him, protect him. And then, of course, he's showing up. But I'm confused how they did him. Because apparently he's her chosen champion, but the way he talks is he doesn't really remember his past life, or the way she talks about him is that he doesn't actually exist, and that even when you met him, he wasn't a person. He was always her champion. So they kind of did this weird, he's not a human champion. He's an Adric champion of some kind, so he's not really human, and it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. I don't...
From what I understood, you know how, in main story, in Cold Harbor, when the final explosion happens, Meridia is shielding us from all the explosions, and we do the final explosion using the Meridia's light. And King Lalorian Dylan, whatever his name is...
The last alien,
he is injured, laying on the ground. We are back at Meridia's chapel. and Darien Gauthier is missing.
Yep.
We all assume he's just dead. Like he got blasted into his atoms and he's gone. From what I understood, Meridia, you know how she grabbed our soul before it like disappeared while all the souls from Cold Harbor was being released.
Right.
From what I understood, Meridia did the same for Darien Gauthier. Like before his soul or himself got disappear out of Cold Harbor, she snatched her soul, or she snatched his soul into the colored, what was
The colored
in the
rooms.
realm.
Yep.
Yeah, same as ours. And then she was like, "Yep, I saved you, so you are now gonna work for me." You know, from Skyrim, how compelling she is with that. She just blasts you into sky, and you basically have to become her champion now. Otherwise, you are gonna take a full free fall.
True.
She did something like that for Gautier, and he is now like champion of.
Okay, that makes
That's how I understood it.
Okay, it makes a little bit more sense in that regard, because I'm sitting there going, like, I guess if she just kind of put his soul back into the body, maybe there is a little bit of that amnesia thing going on, because his real body would have been destroyed. It makes more sense. It does make
also
more
like
sense.
he doesn't really have amnesia. He just, to me, sounds a bit more confused. So when I started Summerset story, I haven't done main story with this character yet on European Mega Server. I
Okay.
haven't completed it. So Darien Gauthier never died, and we never went through the events of those in Cold Harbor, right?
Right.
So when I met Darien Gauthier in Somerset, and when we save him from Mephalah's realm and go back to Arteum, I speak to him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you for saving me, whatever, whatever." And he doesn't know who I am, because those events never happened with this character.
So you haven't...
They don't know each other.
Yeah. Now, he does talk to you differently if you've done
Exactly.
it. Like, I've done it on my character.
I actually stopped doing the quest line and went back, finished the main story, came back and talked with him again, and then I had those, "Oh, hey, you remember how we did this and that? Oh, it was amazing."
Yeah.
Dialogue
Can you...
unlocked after that.
Do you know who I am kind of stuff? Like, were we friends before? Like that. But he definitely sounded confused. So I'm not really sure what the idea was behind him being that way. Because
my theory is that the time obviously doesn't flow as the same when you are dead and your soul is flying around getting snatched by Meridia. So it is possible, while we spent in the in-game time, let's say 1 year, because I don't know how the time progresses in Elder Scrolls Online, but let's say between the events of Cold Harbor and Somerset, there's 1 year. That 1 year may have been a century for the Golden Knight.
It's true.
Because he's traveling between the planes of Oblivion. He is not even a human, he's not even alive, or I'm not sure what it is, but maybe it's like it's been a century for him since those events. So he's like, "I remember you, but you know, it's been a century, so I don't know."
Right.
He does say we should go grab a drink. So I guess he remembers enough that at least he still retained his character, you know, his personality. So that part I really loved. Even as a Golden Knight, he was still that cocky Darien Gauthier.
Right. And that's who I really loved about him. So he actually gets to accompany us a lot through our adventures going forward, which I'm really excited about, because him and, of course, the Psijic priest that follows us along as well, who, you know, she's actually it kind of goes into a story of the Duke of Nocturnal's realm, or Minfala's realm, is actually her husband, or ex-husband, I guess. So you have that little bit of a story going on there, because once you finally capture him,
beautiful story as well.
it was interesting. Let's talk about that a little bit. I know we're kind of breaking the linear side of this, but we're going to talk about it a little bit, because I feel like there wasn't really a satisfying ending to that story.
I'm actually sort of satisfied.
Really?
Like, I love how it progressed as well. At first, we think that the guy is straight up evil, right? Because he is he's serving Mephala, the Daedric Prince. But then we learn that, they lost their kid, their daughter, with as a wife, husband. And even with all the might of Psijic Order, they weren't able to help her. Right? So that has to be devastating. You are one of the most powerful mages of entire arcane history of Tamriel, and you can't help your daughter from a disease.
And I sort of feel for him at the same point, because the mother got, as she said, when the daughter got sick and you realized that she wasn't going to get better, she got so wrapped up in her work as a way of like grief, like dealing with the grief, is she just kind of went into her work, and she wasn't even there when her daughter died. The father was obviously very upset at this. I mean, I would be too at that point. I know that's how she was dealing with grief, but she just wasn't around for her family, and that's why he left. So I actually felt more for the father than I did for the mother. Like, I actually kind of thought she was a horrible person. I really did. I get that's how she handled grief, but sometimes I feel like...
Also, from what I understood, though, like, in defense of the mother, she doesn't get buried in random Psijic Order work. She gets buried in, trying to find a way to save her daughter, even to the, last second. She isn't
was that
going around
actually
doing
said?
Psijic...
Because it didn't...
That's how I understood it.
Okay.
That's how I understood it.
I didn't understand it that way. Go ahead.
At first I thought the same as you.
Okay.
And then there was some dialogue that changed my mind into thinking that she was trying to still find a way to cure her daughter.
Okay.
But still wasn't there. But she was not in a way that doing random Psijic Order research or something, but she was still trying to find something, even though they kind of concluded that, okay, this is impossible, it's not going to work. So father is more like, he settled down and is like, okay, we cannot fix this regardless of what we do, so I'm going to be there for my daughter.
Yeah.
At least in the last, moments. And mother was more like, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to do my best to try and find a way to fix this until the very end. And this is again, like, we always talk about how in Elder Scrolls there is always more than one side. Like, no one is truly evil, except, I'm obviously excluding some people, but normal, these characters with background stories, they are usually not entirely evil or not entirely good. It really depends on their personality and your personality, how you would look at it.
Right.
And from one perspective, like, makes sense.
No,
if you can save if there is a chance that you might save your daughter, you could risk not being there at the last moments to try and find that solution. But it also makes sense from father's perspective to not leave her alone in her, final moments. So it's again one of those Elder Scrolls.
You think there's you're like, what is the right answer? There's really no right answer. Just hope that you pick the less bad answer. So, but he actually does end up dying. He gives himself up when you go into the Crystal Tower, because the Crystal Tower, Nocturnal essentially betrays everybody. Like, she betrays the Triumvirate. And we actually, it's really neat to see. And then you start working with the other Daedric princes, and that's how this guy gets into it, because all the other Daedric princes are like, man, that sucks. I was really hoping to be the one that broke the Triumvirate first. But Right Master Aekesis actually hid the key of transparent law inside Nocturnal's realm. And at this point, when you go in there to retrieve it, it's neat because he dies. The actual leader of the Psijic Order is ripped apart, actually rather brutally, to be honest.
That scene was absolutely amazing as well.
It was so good. But yeah, he gets completely destroyed, and Nocturnal gets the Heart of Transparent Law and was able to actually enter the Crystal Tower. And that's where you actually start doing the quest, the necessary alliance where you're actually working with Clavicus Vile and Minfala to actually get into the tower, because of course you go to the Sepiarchs, you try to actually do something for the Sepiarchs to save the people who can let you in, and they both die. So you have no way of getting into the tower, because apparently it takes like 100 years in order to actually train people on how to open the Crystal Tower. Well, Minfala and Clavicus Vile have their own way in, so you're able to actually get into the Crystal Tower to fight Nocturnal. Let's talk about the actual very last part of this, because obviously we're getting near on the end of time, and we're really kind of hitting this at this point. The main bad guy, obviously being Nocturnal, and her new Duke, which happens to be Vea, which, again, if you don't do... This is where if you don't do the stories in order, I think, like, it wouldn't make a lot of sense. Like, this Vea person who was part of the Morag Tong, who revere Minfala, pretty much after the events of Morrowind, she gives up on the Morag Tong, she gives up on Minfala, and finds a new mistress in Nocturnal. Well, she's now the main bad guy, essentially, with Nocturnal's backing, because Nocturnal can't manifest in Tamriel. So she's going everything through her Duke, Vea, and they're the ones in there trying to control the Crystal Tower. Because if they could control the Crystal Tower, the idea is Minfala would be able to exist in every plane of existence at once, essentially giving her ultimate power at that point. And it's really good. So we get into the Crystal Tower and we actually fight our way through. What did you think of the finale?
It was kind of anticlimactic.
Really?
For me. Like that, the final battle at the top of the tower. Because visually, it was amazing, right? Nocturnal in the back doing stuff with the Heart of Transparent Law. I don't know, whatever she was doing. She was trying to unlock it or something.
Yeah.
So she's in the back, as massive as all the Daedric princes. She is like tower herself, and she's hovering in the air. For whatever reason, she was kind of low resolution to me.
Really?
That bugged me. I don't know. She felt like there was a filter on her. Maybe it was just my computer doing weird stuff.
Well,
but she was kind of like low resolution there with the textures and everything.
Well,
so that kind of
she kind of went into the background essentially, so she was kind of semi-transparent.
So I guess that was the reason. But the fact that we fought with Vea instead of something more powerful, like Nocturnal herself, because I mean, in this game we fought with Molag Bal face to face. That is one of the most epic moments this game could ever offer.
Yeah.
Now that was with the help of Amulet of Kings, obviously one of the, I guess, most powerful relics of Elder Scrolls.
Yep.
And so we can explain that way. But Vea kept transforming into this weird forms, fighting us, screaming stuff. While Nocturnal in the back, just doing whatever she's doing.
She was trying to unlock. She was trying to unlock the Heart of Transparent Law, because if she couldn't
I was like,
merge it and actually gain full access to the tower, it really wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to fight Vea. I fought Molag Bal. I don't care. I want to fight her in the back.
Right.
The good thing though, like at the end, we start failing, right? If I remember correctly, we are there's something wrong.
Yep.
And then Darian Gutierre jumps into the scene again with his Dawnbreaker. Wait, was this before?
No, this is it, because we didn't really touch on it, but there was this little bit of a where the Dawnbreaker was taken from him and corrupted by Nocturnal, so it was actually Vea who was using it. But earlier on our ascent up the tower, we actually repair the Dawnbreaker, because we get the little shard and repair it.
Yeah. So
Kimundi says it's Coutier, it's French. He's
How am
probably
I supposed to know, Kim? How am I supposed to know? It's a difficult name.
he actually is
Very
correct.
Gautier.
He is correct. It is French.
Yeah.
So
I know it's French, but I have no idea how to pronounce French words.
apparently neither do I, but that's okay. I've apparently been pronouncing my own name wrong for 5
Really?
years. Yeah, it's Greek. It's actually was used in the Bible. It means messenger. Is what it literally is translated to, but oftentimes it's used in terms for angels or divine beings of that nature. And I always play Holy Warriors, so that's the name I've been using for a very long time. Well, in the Greek translation, it's actually a little bit more guttural. It's Aggelos. I do Aggelos, kind of adds a little bit of that j sound to it, but that's apparently incorrect. Because the Greek version is a little bit more guttural in its pronunciation.
So if I pronounced your name just as a Turkish name, I would have been correct all this time.
Actually,
Aggelos.
probably yes. That is exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. But after 5 years of mispronouncing it, I've pretty much just committed to the mispronunciation. So. Yeah. yeah. I don't read Greek, so of course that I actually have a Greek Bible, but it has the English translations directly next to it. Thank goodness. So it's like one line it's Greek, and then one line it's pretty neat. I got it for studying purposes, but I don't know why I do that since I don't speak Greek, so the translations aren't really there. In reality, I really should have done Hebrew, getting into a little bit of theology. I don't know why, but I just feel like saying it right now. Apparently, there's a lot of how do I want to say this? Greeks take things very literally, which is fine because that's how I do things. The Hebrew translations don't. They speak in a lot of metaphor. This is something that my pastor was telling us, and it was interesting because the Hebrew, they use a lot of metaphor for a lot of things that they would understand, whereas the Greek translations are read more literally. So when they're using a metaphor to explain a concept idea, the Greek automatically jumps to, oh, this is exactly how it's going to happen. Oh. And it's like, no, we're giving you a metaphor of what you would understand, because that's how the Hebrews would understand it. Instead, I have a little bit of an issue with the Hebrew translations, only because I don't normally get metaphors. I'm very literal, and I think that comes from my IT background, as I'm sure you know, Ark. We're very logical and literal. It's like, okay, so you mean this? No, I'm using this to illustrate a concept or a complex idea. No. Mm-mm.
No, you don't.
No.
just refusing.
No. Then why don't you just tell me the complex idea? Because it'd be easier to understand if I use a metaphor, but not if I look at the metaphor as the exact idea. Okay. Yeah. So that's always fun. Anyway, got into language there. I don't even know why we did that. Yeah. Final battle. We actually do get to battle Nocturnal. I thought it was really good, right? But I really feel like there was a misstep. And the misstep was, I think it would have been so much cooler if the triumvirate of the Court of Bedlam actually held together all the way to the end. Because it was already unprecedented to have the Daedric Princes working together. And I thought it would have been so much cooler had they stayed working together. You know what I mean? Because
I guess, but then here's the thing: like, how do you win against 3 Daedric Princes? Whose help are you gonna get to make that happen?
Well, I mean, let's be 100% frank here. I don't know why he was pigeonholed into this, because I also felt like this character didn't really need to be there. But they brought Sothasil back, like he's available, and he actually guides you through a lot of it. So why not use essentially a divine character? He could have helped you as well, because now he has his full power back if you were going to battle all 3. You know what I mean?
Why doesn't he help anyway? He kind of acts like he simply doesn't care. Like, whatever.
Well, he does. And I think that's also kind of the issue, don't you think? Like, why was he even there? we have already talked about the end of the story, which obviously it was really cool. It was awesome to see the top of the Crystal Tower. I still think Summerset was one of the best stories they've done. The main story, I think, won out in terms of cinematic because, of course, that was what they spent a lot of time working on. There was a lot of instant stuff, so there was a lot of cinematics that were involved in its production. But from a storyline perspective, Summerset was definitely the best outside the original. I still think the original probably won out for me because it definitely felt like it had a little bit more weight to it. Because, of course, maybe your soul being stolen, maybe you felt like there was a little bit more to all of this. And I don't really care about Summerset as much because it's elves, so all right. But it was still really, really good. I just feel like they having one of the Daedric princes betray the other Daedric princes didn't surprise me. When it happened, it's like, oh yeah, all right, that, you know, we kind of saw that coming all the way through.
Even the other Daedric princes say it though, like, we were going to do it as well. Nocturnal just beat us to the betrayal. Like, yeah, they were all planning it.
Well, and that's just it. That's in their nature, right? So what really attracted me to the story in the first place was the fact that the three of them were working together, which is so against their nature. And that kind of had me going, wow, this is awesome because the three of them are working together. And then when they betrayed it, it's like, oh, well, back to where we were, right? You know, we had something that I thought was really cool. And then now we don't have anything at all. It's kind of right back to where we were. Oh, we get to work with another Daedric prince again. Pretty much the same story that happened in the Prime one, except for we were working with Meridia, who is more quote-unquote good. I know none of the Daedric princes are either good or bad, but she's arguably the one who you could say, from the human moral perspective, is a good Daedra.
Now, that's questionable, and I guess. So, College Kid also in chat just asked this. Did you read the final book at the end of the main story?
I feel like I must have. Where's it at?
The Word of the Fallen. So, okay, let me wrap this up. So, Darian, I'm not going to say his last name.
Yeah.
While Kim is in chat.
Darian Gautier. We're going to say Darian Gautier. Yeah. There, I pronounced it for you. We're good.
He basically, to restore Dawnbreaker, he kind of sacrifices himself, right?
Yep.
So he's gone again, and I'm like, oh, come on. We just got you back.
Yeah.
We just got him back, and he's dead again. Like, don't do it. So I'm like upset with that. So all the stuff happens. You kind of prevent Nocturnal from doing her thing, and you go back to the Palace of Alinor to speak with the Proxy Queen, who is, honestly, we just saved Summerset. We just saved not just Summerset, but entire universe, or rather dimensions upon dimensions. And she's still acting like, you know, high and mighty. Come on.
Oh, yeah, no, she's a total mess, yeah.
Yeah. That annoyed me a lot. Anyway, so when you talk with the Proxy Queen, and when you're exiting the palace, right next to the gate, there are two Altmer guards, and one of them is going, "Oh man, did you see that? Like a random book spawned upstairs. It was like it spawned out of thin air." He's shocked, and he's panicking. He's shocked. How did this random book spawn in this very well guarded palace? At first, I thought this was just start of another side quest or something. You know how some NPCs just repeat the same thing over and over again until you pick up the quest. I thought this was one of these, but I was intrigued anyway because like a random book spawned magically. I was like, oh, this could be a nice story. So I went up there, and there is a book in one of the benches called Words of the Fallen. It is from Darian Gautier. Have you not read this?
I might have. It's not showing up on my unread books, so I must have done it. I just don't remember.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a 2-page thing. Okay. So this book you find in the second floor of Alinor Palace. Never trust a Daedric prince. If there is anything I learned from all this, that it's in a nutshell. It's in a nutshell. Well, that's a weird grammar. Anyway, I used to think I had a purpose, a part to play in the grand scheme of things. I suppose I did, sort of. But the way things turned out, it wasn't all the way I imagined. Meridia said I was her vessel. I guess my fate was sealed from the moment she brought me into existence. This is where it's all explained, by the way, like your questions about Darien Gautier and how he came back. Now, here I am, back in the colored rooms. So he didn't die. Meridia snatched her back to colored rooms again. Now, here I am back in the colored rooms. I thought that when I gave my energy to restore the sword, and I did that for my friend, not for Meridia, I thought that was the end of me. I am back, though. But this time is different. My light, it's fading. I can feel the darkness getting closer, pressing in. I expect that once the light goes out, that will be the end. I need to tell you something about Meridia. She is a deceiver. She promised that if I served her faithfully, I'd earn my freedom. She never told me that my freedom was just another word for the void. Don't trust her. Don't trust any of the Daedric princes, not ever. I have found peace, though. Meridia gave me a chance to see the world. And those I care about one last time. To save those I loved, I'm grateful for that at least. I wish I had a chance to say goodbye to everyone, to Scordo, to Gabrielle. Gods, I'll miss them. But most of all, Jürgen Kindson, which would be your name here, like your character's name.
Yep.
I don't know if they'll understand how much they truly meant to me. Perhaps we'll see each other again in another place, another time. I probably won't be the version of myself that's writing these words, though. That me will be gone. I can live with that. I only wish I could have spent more time with everybody, had a few more adventures, ordered those drinks we always talked about. I hope my friends find peace, happiness, and love. They deserve what I could never have. If anyone ever finds this book, know that I will never forget those I named herein. And if you'll find them, and I pray that you do, tell them this. Protect the ones you love, hold them close, cherish their every moment. Make them laugh and laugh with them. Smile together and never ever forget that the moments you have are so very precious. Oh, and tell them not to forget me either. I mean, I'm a legend as far as I know. The polite, handsome, and humble knight, Darien Gautier.
Okay. All right. You know, and it was actually funny when you actually say about not trusting them, and I said about being good. The thing I thought about was from the game I hate, Oblivion, and the Knights of the Nine expansion, where Umariel the Unfettered is actually a champion of Meridia. So she took this king of the Aelids, who was not really a great person, because most of the Aelids were not great, and kept him. So in Knights of the Nine, you're fighting a champion of Meridia as a major bad guy in the entire thing. So obviously, just like what happened in this book, some of their motives tend to be a little bit more on the gray side of things. So interesting. I must have read that book because it's not showing up on my unread books thing, because that always shows me if I'm missing a book from a quest or anything of that nature, so I can go pick it up. But it's not there, so I must have grabbed it. I just don't remember it. I'm glad you read that, though. That was awesome.
Yeah. It doesn't even show up as a quest object or anything. You actually have to pay attention to that conversation those guards are having and go looking. Like, if you just ignore that conversation, or if your audio is low, for example, and you don't hear it, you just miss it.
Oh, I'm heading to the palace.
I don't know if it stays there, though. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to go just see if it's available or if I already picked it up.
Like, when I first read, I got so emotional. Like, even when I was reading here, like I was getting emotional. I was like, don't cry on street.
Don't cry on street. Darien is one of my favorite characters in this entire thing. I mean, obviously, I like Razumdar, because Razumdar is awesome. But yeah, I really liked Darien as a character. So seeing him come back was really cool. College Kid says it does stay there, so I'm gonna go take a look. Okay. If it's glowing, I probably already have it, or I don't have it. Yeah, I don't.
I don't even think it's glowing or anything. It was just there.
Just there.
Yeah, you take the stairs to the right when you enter the palace.
Okay. I'm running up the pathway now because I'm really curious. I wish the Slode had played a bigger part of this too. They got kicked out pretty early. I mean,
yeah. Then again, I mean, it was kind of good in a sense that it showed that they are not Daedric level powerful. I mean, they are powerful, but they're not a Daedric prince after all.
Yeah.
I guess that was one way of showing that power level between Slodes and the Daedric princes.
Well, the Slodes were meant to be super powerful. They're essentially a giant spell-casting civilization that focuses on a lot of necromantic type magic. But hey, I hear him. The book just magically appeared in front of you. I know what I saw. I was upstairs watching the ceremony. Turned around for a moment, and there was just a book. All right, so I took the stairs. Oh, there it is. It's glowing. Words of the Fallen. I apparently did not have this, so that's actually really cool because it didn't show up on my thing. So I actually did not see this when I left.
Yeah, they kind of left it as an Easter egg of sorts, I suppose, instead of for everyone to find.
That is awesome. I'm so glad that we actually talked about this then, because I would have missed that entirely.
I was waiting to talk about like this moment when I found this book and read it was my favorite moment in the Summerset storyline because it gave me so many emotions. Like I don't know. Also, it's a very well written speech as well. I didn't do it any justice, but like it's a very good speech as well at the end. And it kind of reminds me of Doctor Who's one of his reincarnation speeches as well. If anyone watches 11, no, I think either it's one of the Peter Capaldi's speeches. So it was very similar to that as well, like the love everyone and protect those who you love and that kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah.
I'm curious. Are you able to get back to the colored rooms?
I don't think so.
Because I'm heading back to the cave that you actually see, just because I know that's where Cadwell sits. He just kind of hangs out there because he's a Knight of Meridia too.
You mean the Harborage?
Yeah, the Harborage. I
don't think so.
I'm checking. I'm just checking for the.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't hurt to check.
Well, that's pretty much the end of this episode. Summerset definitely. Go ahead.
1 second.
Yep.
Kimunda says, try to talk to Gabrielle in the Gold Coast. I never thought of that. That could be a very interesting dialogue as well.
I wonder if
I should do that.
Gave her any extra dialogue.
They probably did. Like the way because they specifically mentioned Gabrielle in the book.
Right.
And I guess it would be weird if they didn't give her an extra dialogue. I'm gonna do that as well after the
just
show.
Gonna go check, see what's going on. Nice.
Yep.
I guess there's not a portal. I thought there was a portal or something in the Harborage, but I guess not. That's a shame. I really do like the Harborage as an area, though. I wish there was a reason to come back.
Imagine
here.
being able to get Harborage as a house. Wouldn't that be great?
Only if it came with Cadwell.
Oh yeah.
he would.
But still, like,
stay.
That would be one of the perfect houses because basically Harborage is our house, lore-wise. Because, like, look at that. There are furniture and at least a little bit, and no one knows it's there.
Yeah.
The perfect housing thing.
I love it. I do.
It's already instanced, so it's not extra work.
This is also true. All right, Ark, where can people find you?
Ooh, people can find me anywhere that is Arkhaniir, Arkhanir. I'm on Twitch streaming regularly, twitch.tv/Arkhaniir. I am on Twitter, twitter.com/Arkhaniir. You can send me an email at arkhanir@gmail.com. And that is pretty much it.
Awesome. You can follow me on Twitter at Aggelos, AGGELOS _DCN. And of course, links to our Discord and everything like that are on the official webpage, dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. If you're interested in joining us in-game, we are on the PC North American Mega server. Our guild, Hands of Fate, is, we are a PVX guild based on the North American PC Data Center. We have players from all over the world. And we have scheduled events almost every night in all the areas of the game, including set up pledge groups, trials, Skyshard hunts, and different PvP events. Our trials group that runs Saturday nights at 10:30 is still looking for... I think I have it posted in the Discord. I encourage you to check it out there. But I think we're still looking for 1 full-time healer and like 2 DPS, I think. So if you're interested in doing those... and joining us as we kind of push our way towards vet trials and all that fun stuff, I definitely encourage you to check us out. Or if you just like doing stuff with people, pledges, dungeons, etc., I definitely encourage you to join us. We also do monthly Crown Store giveaways. By doing events with the guild, you earn participation points that you can use to buy a raffle ticket for our monthly giveaways. So... get out, do stuff, play the game with other people in our guild, and then have a chance at winning Crown Store giveaway stuff. So definitely check that out, and hopefully we'll see more of you come out and join us. If you're interested in checking out everything else we do, you can check that out, dungeoncrawlernetwork.com, with links to all of our social media, including Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, as well as links to all of our other shows. Our From the Ashes, our Ashes of Creation show, which records every week, Saga of Leucemia show, Tavern Talk, and, of course, all of our past archive of this show, Tales of Tamriel. Check all that stuff out. And we also have a general MMO gaming show called The Dungeon Crawlers that you can check out as well, that records fairly infrequently, but it does record. So definitely give that a follow as well. If you want to support us, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork, or you can subscribe to us here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Dungeon Crawler Network. We are actually streaming more regularly. I don't want to say regularly yet because it's almost every day, but I don't actually have a set schedule. I should probably do that, but maybe.
It's difficult.
It is.
Especially with a family, I guess.
Yeah, it's difficult to do. And I hate to commit to a day and then go, I can't do it today. But in reality, we stream almost every night. But it's not really a matter of, yes, it's this night. Because sometimes it's like, no, I don't feel like it. I have family issues or whatever, and I'm taking care of them, so I'm not going to stream tonight. So keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely give us a follow for when we go live. We've been doing a lot of stuff, doing ESO Battlegrounds. We'll be streaming a lot of that coming up here with the Midyear Mayhem. My best buddy got me sucked back into World of Warcraft. So I've been playing that. And of course, I'm doing a playthrough of all the Witcher games. So that's always been a lot of fun as well. If you can't support us there, consider leaving us a 5-star review on iTunes, as that lets people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes they matter. Thank you so much, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we'll see you next time. See you later, everybody.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark, down in an alien well. Magicka fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to Chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.